So, okay. All right. What are the questions you got today, Brett?
So like we talked about last week too, I contacted both the Army and Navy recruiters,
Yep.
and I had meetings with both of them.
Yep.
And I kind of texted you when I was doing that, and so the Army guys were like pretty cool, but they were, like you said, they were trying to push me to just go 18 X-ray and
Yep.
not do OCS at all.
Yep.
But they did say, like, just like with my school, my grades and like test scores and stuff, that I would be competitive in that arena, I guess. So
You do understand that they're going to give you an infantry contract immediately, right?
yeah,
Like they're telling you you're going to be competitive, but you're in school, you got good grades, you're running and swimming fast. They are going to take you immediately because there's a big hole in infantry right now in the Army.
right. As far as officers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like both of my dudes, 3 months, man. Like that meeting you had. So it's 2:20, like literally 5:20. They were leaving. They were going to basic training.
And that's basically what they said too, is like, I put together that packet with them, and then it would be like an interview process, and you have to like get some references and stuff. That wouldn't be an issue really. And then yeah, they said basically like a few months after you're gone. So
you go to basic, you go to OCS, then you go to IOBC, then you probably go to Ranger School.
Yeah, they were saying if I did 18 X-ray, that's like straight to Green Beret, so like that was a little bit different, but
that's enlisted.
Yeah, exactly. Which, and then for OCS, they're saying a lot of guys, they said don't go to Ranger School after they're officer for some reason. They're saying
I don't know. My two dudes, like they're gonna give you the option. Both of my dudes ate at that table, right? Yes, both of my officers said they raised their hand when they want to go to Ranger School. Everybody says, shoot, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, and this happened September of last year. So September of 2020, both my guys walked out of Ranger School. One of my dudes got rolled out of Ranger School. He got heat stroke. And so he had like a 6-month hold. And so they sent him to SEER school. He actually went to the Ranger Bat for 4 months and was just kind of support there.
Gotcha. I think I watched that video actually.
Yeah. So that's my dude. But like, I just had this come up. People are saying I'm pushing people to the Army. I'm not pushing you to the Army. I'm just pushing you to be successful.
Correct.
Right? Like if you dying to go enlist in the SEAL teams and everybody's talking about, well, it's not backed up and it's only 90 days. I'm like, okay, man, like believe the smoke if you want to. Ain't nobody going to buds until 2022 if they start right now.
Yeah. And so when I talked to the Navy recruiters, right, I told them like, the first thing I did when I got there is like take a practice, I guess, ASVAB. I don't know. And I scored like pretty high on it. Which like I would kind of expect to if I paid all this money for this college education. But but they were saying like basically what would happen was, right, I would go to basically submit all my medical stuff, go to MEPS. Get cleared at MEPS, and then like a week later take the PST basically. But they said that I would have to like do the delayed entry program, so I'd have to like select a job with like a date like far out, they said, and then take that time to like take the PST and then get it switched to an SO contract instead.
And you can get out of that until you sign in. Like the day you ship, you can get out of your delayed entry program. They don't like it, they hate it, but you can.
So how? Yeah. So like, what do you mean exactly? Like the day you ship?
You can go in a delayed entry program and pick a different job, right? Like let's say you pick bosun's mate, right, or gunner's mate, okay? And then you go delayed entry for next year, and in that time you'll try to earn an SO contract, okay? But if you don't earn an SO contract, you just go in there and tell them you want out of the delayed entry program. Like there's nothing they can do about it. They don't like it. They're going to tell you that you'll never get accepted in the military and all this other stuff. But the bottom line is like you just walk out of your delayed entry program. There's nothing binding in the military until you actually sign that first contract and you swear in and you ship to basic.
Okay. So they were saying that if I earn that SO contract, right, like pass the PST with like competitive scores or whatever, but it goes into like the draft, right? So they take and what you've been saying is there's like 150% qualified dudes. Does that mean that they already basically are entered into that draft and they're waiting to be selected? Is that?
Yeah. So here's the deal. I have a guy that's doing recruiting right now. His response to me was, it's batshit crazy how many people are trying to be SEALs and how fast the qualification times are coming down to be able to get to SEAL training. So it used to be if you had like 11-minute swim and run, you could get there. Then it went to 10 minutes. Then it was 9:30. Now I'm hearing it's pushing 9 minutes, right? Like you're not getting out of Bud's prep. Like I called, I can't get a definitive answer, but they're saying somewhere around 9:15 run and swim ain't going to get you out of Bud's prep. So then you can't get out of Bud's prep, then you go into the fleet.
Right.
So, and here, you know what I'm going to tell you, Brett, like that's my biggest problem. Like, why would you roll? Because you got to enlist for 6 years. Like, don't get it confused. Like you're making a 6-year decision on the roll of a dice. Now, what's your mile and a half right now? You haven't taken a good PST, but what'd you tell me last time? Like 9 something? What was it?
So yeah, before this was February, end of February. So like, end of January. I mean, and that was 8:40 run and a 9:10 swim.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's take a PST like end of March, and we're gonna take a proper PST. Okay, so you train for it's roughly 5 weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we're gonna take, you train Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday we'll start the taper, take it on Friday, and we'll see how you do. Like we'll end this cycle on a solid PST and see what your times are on a taper. Not taking it on Friday after you worked out the whole week, right?
Yeah.
Because that'll give you a good idea. I mean, you're gonna be competitive. The swim's gonna come down. Now that you eating pasta, watch the swim. The swim's gonna come down in the next couple of weeks. I'm not worried about the swimming. The run is gonna be competitive right now. But it goes back to, if anything happens, if you get hurt, if you get hypothermia, if anything happens at all, you're going to be sitting there on a ship somewhere thinking to yourself, damn, I could be an officer in the United States Army right now making 5 times the money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you like this, I don't see you being a follower, right? Like you're good being in charge. So if that's the case, like, dude, like, it ain't even like everybody says I'm pushing people to Army. I'm not pushing nobody to the Army. It's just a far better option at this point in time right now.
Right.
Like for you, like if you wanted to go to SEALs as an officer, I'm fine with it, but you got to wait until next February to put your package in.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're not going to go to SOAS until next summer. You're not going to get picked up. You won't even get to go to OCS until 2023.
Yeah.
Right. And so like that's the whole thing about it all. But you got to make the decision, right? If you're going to go enlist and go for it, then I mean, I'm not going to tell you no. I just think like, man, it's a head scratcher to me.
Yeah. I mean, so I think I mentioned to you that like my dad passed. I was lucky he left me like some money basically that I could kind of live with for a little bit. And obviously I got like a job and stuff, but like, do you think that it would be worthwhile to wait until next February to put in a packet? Because I mean, it's like those dudes are like Superman, right? Like you said, they get selected for that. Or
so I just talked to a couple guys I know well. Okay. There were some guys at the Naval Academy that swam sub 6 minute 500s and ran sub 8 minute mile and a halves.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that's the competition, but I will say the competition is right there at 8.
Yeah.
I can't run that fast. I can't. Fastest I've ever ran was an 8:45 mile and a half. That's the fastest I could have ever ran. I don't care what I would have done. Maybe I could have lost I mean, I was 200 pounds. If I had went down to like 160, I might have been able to run a little bit faster, but I'm never getting close to 8. I don't care how much training you do, right? Swimming, I was down to 806. I probably could have swam a 730, but on raw times, like I probably ain't getting to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Right.
I don't know. And you're graduating when? May, right?
Yes, sir.
So like to me, like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Like the
Yeah.
Navy, like I told you this before, man, this Navy SEAL shit is so overrated right now in American culture that is borderline stupid. Like the Army Rangers, like I just said this yesterday, man. When I got in Naval Academy and I didn't get selected for SEALs, if they had said to me, "Hey Jake, you can go be an Army Ranger. We'll let you be an Army Ranger, but you got to go in the Army," like that. Like I wouldn't even have thought about it. I'd have been like, "What? I can be an Army Ranger? Can I?" Yeah, boom. I'd have been gone. Like not even slowed down at all. Well, you got to go do infantry job for 2 years, and no problem. I'm going in the Army. I'm good.
Okay.
Because I was just about the job, right? Like I didn't.
Right.
The SEAL part of it was just kind of a mechanism for the job, and I was stuck in the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay, but like now, like I think everything changes with time. I think it's a better option.
Yeah.
Especially for a dude with a Pepperdine degree,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like a Pepperdine degree, and you're gonna go fucking be in the Navy as an E3. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes, right? Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm gonna tell you? There's a bunch of enlisted dudes with college degrees.
Right.
Okay. I would say they are the exception than the norm now.
Okay.
I mean, back when I was in, there was 2 dudes in my class. Both of them made it with master's degrees. One of them went on both of them went on to dev group.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was in the early 90s before all this crazy shit was happening. Right? Getting the buds wasn't the hardest thing in the pipeline. It was actually getting through buds.
Right.
Buds is still just as hard, but now it's like it's almost impossible to get there.
Right. Yeah.
You got to make the decision, bud. Like, are you willing to wait? I mean, shit, you got to wait a full year just to apply.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to wait another 9 months to go to SOAS. Then you're going to have to wait another 5 months to go to OCS.
Mm-hmm.
So legitimately, you could get to buds in the summer of 2023.
Yeah.
You will already be at your unit in the Army and getting ready to go to RASP or getting ready to screen for SFAS, for Green Berets. You will already be at that point if you go in now, because you'll be just making second lieutenant or first lieutenant. You have about a year at your unit, and then you can go screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole time you're able to train, get better, ruck, do all the stuff you got to be able to do in selection in the Army.
Right.
So, I mean, but you got to make the choice, bud. Like, it's up to you. And if you decide to enlist, like, that just is what it is. You got to understand the game you're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my dude that enlisted, 2.5 years ago now. So May of 18. Yep, May of 18, I think he enlisted, right? This is how hard it was. Crushed the PST, college graduate, 2-time captain, okay, Big Ten. Went in, trained, got in the delayed entry program. He said, "Hey, I'm ready." So this is May. Took the PST in August, and he shipped in September. Does that sound like what's happening now?
Not really, no.
No, right? Like it was different 3 years ago. Like if I said to you, "Hey man, yeah, you go enlist, you go down, fill out the stuff at the recruiter, and you could be in basic in, let's say you set it up right now, and you could be in basic in May." Then I wouldn't be sitting here saying like, "Hey dude, like go in the Army, man."
Mhm.
Like it's a totally different world now.
Right.
And I don't think it's getting better. I think it's getting worse.
Mhm.
So there's a chance, you know, like May, June, like it could get pushed back to a year. Now,
Yeah.
everybody's trying to tell me that it's going to change, but my guys on the inside said, listen, man, we are having any problems with recruiting right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I can only operate in what I know today. I can't make decisions based on what I think is going to happen in the future.
Correct.
So it's tough, but you got to make the choice. I can't help you make the choice. All I can do is give you the information you know, the information that you need to make a decision.
Yeah.
Do I think you'd be a great SEAL officer? Absolutely. Do I think you kill the Army? My 2 dudes in the Army are just like you are, man. Like you're gonna go in the Army, both of them dudes are finishing first. They're not finishing second or third. They finished first in OCS, both of them. Okay. So